Because every child deserves a strong start.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 15th day of August 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. We're seeing on some social media platforms already one accident in the vicinity of a countryside. And another one, I believe, on either North or South, I think it's North Church Street as well. Of course, yesterday on the buzz, you heard Inspector Andre Tahal, and I think he was joined by Sergeant as well, talking about the traffic situation in the Cayman Islands and some 70-odd, average of 70-odd accidents per week. Folks, that is crazy. That is unbelievable. And doesn't seem to get any better. It continues to get worse as well. So we're hearing about those accidents already this morning, and unfortunately we will, before the day's out, you will hear about more as well. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy belated birthday as well, and to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday. Shout-outs, Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands, we do wish you a speedy recovery as well. And again, this morning, to give a big shout out to our colleague here at Radio Cayman, Mr. Joel Wilson. Big shout out to him, as well. And you're always in our thoughts and in our prayers as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy and sometimes dangerous roads of the Cayman Islands into your places of work. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls this morning. We have a toll-free number which is provided courtesy of Flow. That number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990, WhatsApp 925-3261. So, first of all, let's look at the birthday shout-outs this morning. And first of all, we want to send a happy belated shout out to Miss Adina Range, who celebrated her birthday a few days ago. Big shout out to her. And also we want to send out a big birthday shout out, belated birthday shout out. And this one is coming from Miss Lucille. I need to find that again. Here we go. And this is tribute to Mr. Val Lewis. Miss Lucille writes, a brilliant mind. And today we celebrate Val Lewis's birthday, a brilliant mind whose warmth and wisdom have guided us. He shared his technical knowledge with humility, helping us see the world of TV, video, and wireless wonder more clearly. In the 1970s, his state of presence inspired curiosity and kindness. We give you thanks for opening up our eyes to the tech world, Val Lewis. And she said that his birthday was this week and asked us to wish him happy birthday and to read this message. So happy belated birthday going out to Mr. Val Lewis special, and those special words coming from Miss Lucille Seymour as well. Let's look at the other birthday shout-outs this morning as well. Today, the 15th, Mr. Al Ebanks celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to Al. Also today, Minister Nicholas DaCosta celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to him also. And Roger Hines also celebrating a birthday today. Upcoming birthdays for tomorrow, the 16th. Aldine Anderson celebrating a birthday. Dania Duffus also celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Miss Cherry Whitaker celebrating her birthday on Sunday, the 17th of August. And Miss Kim Bush Smith also celebrating her birthday on Sunday, the 17th of August as well. Yulian Anderson celebrating a birthday. Did I said Aldine? Sorry about that. My apologies. Yulian Anderson celebrating her birthday tomorrow as well. So again, folks, to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. I believe that we have covered all. Don't know. Let's see if anyone celebrated a birthday yesterday that we didn't have any information on. But if you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will give them a birthday shout out as well. Meanwhile, folks, we're going to have some very important guests in the studio this morning as well. I'll give you a preview of who will be on. So we will have, I think he's still acting premier, Honorable Gary Ruddy will be in the studio with us. Minister Rolston Anglin, Member of Parliament and Parliamentary Secretary, Miss Heather Borden, they will be on, as well as Minister Catherine Ebanks Wilkes, Minister J. Ebanks, and Member of Parliament and Parliamentary Secretary Miss Julie Hunter will be on this morning in different segments as well. So we're looking at one segment from 8:15 until 9:15, and then from 9:15 until 10 o'clock. They will be talking about the first 100 days in office as well. So don't change that dial. Tell a friend, tell a family member, and of course we know we have our regular dedicated listeners and viewers on Radio Cayman. We know you will be there as well. I would also encourage you to send in any WhatsApp message, any messages that you, questions or comments that you may have. Send them via WhatsApp 925-3261, because as you notice in one of the segments, we will have 1, 2, 3 members, and then in the second segment we will have another 3. One segment will run for an hour, the other one will be for 45 minutes as well. But if you send in your comments or questions, if you want to identify yourself, you can do so. That will be a viable option in the event that we are unable to open up the phone lines because of time constraints. With that, we're going to take our first commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the Record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Spurgeon Andrew Ebanks, OBE, JP, 1914 through 1994. Spurgeon Ebanks served as headmaster in the government schools in North Side, Spot Bay in Cayman Brac, and West Bay from 1935 to 1946. He went to sea for a period of 6 years, returning home to manage his business in West Bay. He served as the sub-collector of taxes and customs for West Bay. He was a member of the Legislative Assembly, serving his district for 3 terms, in 1957 through 1959, 1963 through 1965, and in 1966 through 1968. He was the first Deputy President of the LA and chaired the Cayman Islands branch of the Parliamentary Association. He served on various boards, committees, and tribunals. He was appointed Justice of the Peace in 1961 and received his OBE in 1978. He was a member, elder, and treasurer of the West Bay, now John Gray Memorial Presbyterian Church. Mr. Ebanks was married twice, to Ina Nee Ebanks for 48 years and to Iola Nee Bodden for the last 8 years of his life. He had 4 daughters. He was a kind and considerate man, always willing to help those less fortunate than himself.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
When a hurricane hits, unexpected costs can add up fast. Homeowners are usually out of pocket for these costs to get supplies or make minor repairs. But with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks after a Category 3 or stronger storm, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco Homeowners Insurance. Call 949-8101 or visit Cineco.ky for a quote. That's Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
This summer, happiness is better when you share it. Coca-Cola invites you to share a Coke with someone special. Grab an ice-cold Coke and find a name. Maybe theirs, maybe yours, maybe a surprise. Because nothing says you matter like sharing a smile and a Coke. So who will you share a Coke with today? Find your name, find your friends, and share a Coke. Available now. Stores island-wide.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have a caller on hold, but before we take that caller, I have been asked to send special birthday wishes to our beloved son, Carlington Green. He's a kind and caring person. Greetings are coming from his mother, Myrtle, and the rest of the family. So, Mr. Carlington Green, happy birthday to you, coming from your mom and the rest of the family as well. Let's go to the phone lines. Is it a WhatsApp caller? Miss Susan, regular caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good while I haven't spoken to you, but as usual, I'm calling with complaints.
Okay, well, we'll hear them, and if it's something that we can alert someone to, if we can be helpful in any way, we would be more than happy to do so.
Oh, you were helpful in the last one, and I believe you'll be helpful in this one. Anyway, what I'm complaining about, as a fisherman, we use the Frank Sound channel to go in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And for over a month now, the outside red light has been out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very dangerous, especially the outside one. You got to know how to come in there. And it's not safe for people coming in and out of there without the markers. I called the Port Authority and reported it, like I said, about a month ago. And still, up until last night, nothing was done. And, that troubles me to see that South Sound ones never out. Barkas ones, them are never out. Rankine Channel ones are never out, because those are the ones that the dive boats and the pleasure boats them use. But the fishermen are not recognized as nobody. I got to say kudos to Mr. J for getting the dock in Frank Sound fixed back up for us, that we could walk on it once again. But, it's sad to see that we fishermen are being left behind, and we're the feeders of the country. And we live here, we born here, we grow here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it is sad to see that this is the way we've been treated. The big dogs get all the bones and we get nothing. They get all the oxtail and all the pork chops and we get the bones. And that is not right to us.
Yes.
And the second thing I want to find out, I don't know if Mr. J can do anything about this, but the people keep coming and parking on the ramp itself, Frank Sound,
mm-hmm.
and leaving their vehicle, then go and walk all the way down Breakers on the beach. And when we want to launch our boats, and we can't because they're there.
I noticed that on Sunday mornings, in particular, when we stop there on our bikes or when we cross there, I noticed that quite a bit.
So I'm wondering if he couldn't put that wall. I don't know if that wall belonged to them or the people that own that big house there, but maybe they could put a sign on that wall that says absolutely no parking on the ramp. Parking, you will be towed away, or something. Because it's hard to see that we are treated this way. One time I just felt like get a piece of chain and hook it on my truck and because my truck was a 4-wheel drive, and I would have just tear the bumper off of the car or something. It's sad to see that people are so don't care about doing the proper things.
Mm-hmm.
They should never park on that ramp and leave their vehicle and go away.
Mm-hmm. And on the markers thing, I see there was an article. I was trying to find it. I'm not sure whether or not it's Cayman News Service or Cayman Compass. About the fact that those markers hadn't been addressed, and it is a safety issue. I will find that, and well, of course, this morning, because we will have guests in the studio, I won't be able to cover it, but I will certainly, raise it with the government when they come in this morning, about the markers and what is being done about that. Thank you very much, caller. We're going to try to grab one more caller before we go to our 8 o'clock news. Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing great. I have one comment here. Now, I drive a tour bus, so I am around the public beach, from the cruise ship to the beach and tours and stuff like that. Last week, I noticed I went there. There is a bathroom to the northern side of the public beach, which has one section for men, one section for women. I noticed the door lock. It seemed like they used a crowbar or something, and the lock was torn off, so the door couldn't lock. So it was exposed. And I said, well, they would take care of that. This week, now you have 2 cruise ships in port yesterday. Yesterday, I happened to go by there, and lo and behold, the door was off. I mean, the bathroom was just there, open. And I'm saying to myself, you mean this is the way we treat our tourists? The bathroom there without a door.
Not only our tourists, but all of the people who live here as well and use it.
Exactly. And I mean, this is over a week now. Because the first time I went there last week, the lock was up. The door was still hanging. The lock section was torn up. And this week now, yesterday, I went there just waiting on my guests to come back from the beach. When I went up to the bathroom, the door was entirely off.
Did you try to contact anyone to let them know about it?
I don't know who to contact. I don't know who's in charge of it.
I believe it's well. Certainly, if you contacted the Department of Tourism through your the people that regulate you, I'm sure that they can sort of like escalate things up the ladder. But my observation on that is, and I would ask your view on it. Do you think that they should have someone there? It not necessarily around the clock, but at least during the day when the public beach is open and when people are using those bathrooms, they should have, 2 bathroom attendants there, one for the male bathroom, one for the female bathroom. Again, that would provide employment for Caymanians and whatever that could be, their salaries could be paid out of whatever government gets from either the cruise ships or other tourism entities as well. And it would be kept clean because someone would be there on a daily basis rather than relying on the Parks and Recreation Department to do it.
Yes. see, you hit the nail on the head because months ago I went by there one time, and when I look inside, the little thing on the wall that hold the paper towel when you kind of just reel off, that was off. 9 o'clock in the morning, cruise ship is in port. Tourists going back and forth, and no paper inside the bathroom. Nobody there to even ask, well, can we get some paper? Nothing. And I mean, just like I said, they should have somebody there to attend to it, not on a 24-hour basis, but at least when we have cruise ships in, and we know visitors come by the hundreds to use the place.
Yep.
It's disgraceful because I'm looking at it. You imagine, yesterday I saw ladies came and they went to their bathroom. A man came up, and when he looked, the door was not there, and all the man could do, he turned away, and I don't know where he went. And I said to myself, this is terrible. Terrible.
Okay, caller, I want to thank you very much. I will raise that again also, off air with the ministers when they are in the studio this morning or this afternoon as well, because I will be guest hosting Talk Today this afternoon as well. And I'm sure that they will take on board, the suggestions and the fact that there is an issue there. Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, folks. We've reached that time, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, like I said, we will have guests in the studio. They will be talking about the first 100 days in office. We will have Acting Premier Gary Ruddy, Minister Rolston Anglin, and Parliamentary Secretary Heather Borden. In another segment, we will have Minister Kathy Ebanks-Wilkes, Minister J. Ebanks, and Parliamentary Secretary, Miss Julie Hunter. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
School starts here. Right on. Because nothing says endless possibilities like a fresh page.
At Foster's, find supplies needed to spark their talent, like notebooks, folders, pens, markers, all at prices that make the grade.
It's more than just paper and pencils. It's potential, creativity, and confidence.
So, load up their backpacks with the tools to dream big and write their own success story.
Check out our in-store school zones to make it easy to grab exactly what you need. Or shop online at shop.fosters.ky.
Foster's, full of paper, pens, and possibilities.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sun.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Hear firsthand from your elected officials how things have been going their first 100 days in office at a special event taking place downtown this afternoon. CIGTV's Travis Webster has more.
Free food, entertainment, and direct access to your elected officials. That's what's on offer when the new government hosts its first 100 Days Community Update in Georgetown. The event runs from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Cardinal Avenue with ministers and parliamentarian secretaries on hand to discuss their first 3 months in office and what's ahead. Organizers promise family-friendly activities and a dedicated kids area. The format draws from similar initiatives in the UK and wider Caribbean, where new governments engage directly with voters early in their term. The timing, just over 3 months since taking office, also follows established parliamentary tradition. Cayman Brac residents get their turn next Friday, 22nd of August, with an event at Scott's Dock starting at 5:30 p.m. Both events are free and open to all residents.
The Cayman Islands national men's 3x3 basketball team hits the court today for their opening match at the Under-23 Junior Pan Am Championships in Paraguay. They face the host nation at 11:30 Cayman time. Here's basketball captain Nathaniel Anderson.
We're feeling really, really confident. We have a great game plan, and fortunately for us, Paraguay doesn't have any size advantage against us, so we're looking forward to a game where we can finally, just rely on our defense and not have to worry about the fact that we're a smaller team. So we have a great game plan, and we're feeling extremely confident going into it. Our biggest focus is our defense, strictly because we know that we're able to score. Our issue in most of these games has been scoring and getting stops because of the size disadvantage. So now that we don't have one, we need to make sure that we get those stops, we score and play our game, and we'll come out with that win. Personally, I've played in a lot of big games at opponents' homes, and I prefer that than our home games, because when you have a crowd going against you, you feel like the bad guy. I promise you play so much better. You want to win, so that's my outlook on it, and I just plan to tap into that feeling.
Tomorrow, the squad will return to action against Mexico with tip-off set for 11:50 Cayman time. And it's a strong showing for Consolidated Water, with its total revenue boosting 3%. That's more than $33 million in the second quarter of this year.
Retail water sales in our exclusive utility service area on Grand Cayman were higher than the previous year, primarily due to reduced rainfall during this past quarter.
Speaking to investors, CEO Rick McTaggart said ongoing population growth and increased business activity with the company's service area also led to that 7% bump. On the flip side, bulk revenue fell 2% and services revenue fell by 4%, but manufacturing increased by 33% to $5 million in revenue.
Earlier this year, we completed an expansion of our West Bay seawater desalination plant to meet growing demand for water in our Grand Cayman utility service area. This expansion added an additional 1 million gallons per day of desalinated water production capacity to the already existing 1 million gallons of daily production capacity that was commissioned only 2 years ago.
And going forward, Mr. McTaggart says over the next 2 to 3 years, Cayman Water plans to construct additional water storage at the West Bay site, as well as build new water production and storage on land the company is in the process of purchasing in the southern end of its service area to, quote, keep pace with demand growth. Consolidated Water has facilities across the Caribbean and has been given the green light now to design, construct, operate, and maintain a new 1.7 million gallon per day seawater desalination plant in Hawaii.
Our diversified water business model, encompassing regulated utility, O&M services, and manufacturing, performed well this past quarter, with total revenues increasing by 3% and fully diluted earnings per share from continuing operations increasing by 23% compared to the same quarter of last year. The retail and manufacturing segments in particular reported quarter-over-quarter revenue increases of 6% and 33% respectively.
Consolidated Water, operating as Cayman Water on Grand Cayman, provides coverage for the 7 Mile Beach area and West Bay. That's your latest news. I'm Karsley Fuller.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio. Time to take advantage of the August RAM water tank sale. Buy 2 600-gallon water tanks and get one free with 50% off shipping. Buy 2 1,000-gallon water tanks and get half off the third. Save on rising costs and help prevent erosion and flooding. RAM water tanks boast superior strength, made to withstand harsh conditions and impact resistance. Order your RAM water tank today. Call 925-3822. RAM water tanks, built to last a lifetime.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Brickade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 85 degrees. Relative humidity is 79%. The barometric pressure, 29.95 inches and rising. The wind is east at 8 knots. Overnight low was 83. Synopsis indicates some showers likely across the Cayman Islands today due to residual moisture over the northwest Caribbean. Light winds and smooth seas will prevail through the next few days in association with a weak pressure gradient. Radar imagery shows some showers in and around the Cayman area moving towards the southwest. The National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida continues to issue advisories on Tropical Storm Erin, which is located at last check in the central Atlantic Ocean. The system poses no immediate threat to the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands National Weather Service will continue to monitor this system for further development. Forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder, and temperatures today will be in the low 90s with a heat index near 106 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Tonight we can expect partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder, and temperatures dipping to the low 80s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet for tonight as well. Low tide will be this morning at 8:22, high tide this afternoon at 3:34, and a low tide again tonight at 9:46. The sun will set this evening at 6:52 and will rise tomorrow morning.
Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly. So your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
We are in the hurricane season, and knowing what to do after a hurricane can be as important as preparing for the storm. After the passage of a hurricane, seek medical attention if it is needed at hospitals and clinics for those persons who are injured. Do not touch power lines and cables that are down. They may be active. Report them to 911 or the utility emergency hotlines. Broken tree limbs should be removed from around homes and buildings if possible. This hurricane information was brought to you by Breeze FM and Radio Cayman.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning, Cayman Islands. Let's take a look at what's happening on the roads. We've been hearing about some accidents that occurred earlier in the Savannah area, so please drive with extra caution. As we look to the east on Shamrock Road and Rex Crichton Boulevard, traffic flowing at a moderate pace. Further down, a little different story as you approach the Linford Pearson Highway. Little steadier traffic. A little crawlathon happening on Cool Road, heading to Georgetown. Slight delays expected. And coming off of the Linford Pearson Highway on Agnes Way, traffic is steady. And moderate flow of traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way. As we look to the Georgetown area, Edward Street flowing nicely. Shedden Road, moderate flow of traffic in both directions. And Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing at a moderate pace. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is flowing moderately as well. And coming from the West Bay four-way stop, no issues there. Is traffic flowing pretty good. Coming off of the Ashley Tibbetts Highway, steady traffic on Northtown Road in both directions. And heading towards the Industrial Park area, traffic is moving along at a moderate pace. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
There's something new at Subway. Indulge your taste buds with our new barbecue pork rib sandwich tender. Smoky pork ribs smothered in sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, built just the way you like it. It's bold, rich, and seriously satisfying. But hurry, it's here for a limited time only. Order now on the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick in-store pickup, or get it delivered with Bento or Let's Eat. The all-new barbecue pork rib sandwich, only at Subway. Subway, eat fresh.
Yummy.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Gamers Bay 9 is proudly presented by NetGeeks Media, Ministry of Social Development and Innovation, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Tech West, Enterprise Cayman, C3 Pure Fiber, UCCI, and Radio Cayman, supporting Cayman's gaming community, one pixel at a time.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As promised, we have one minister in the studio so far, others to come as well. My pleasure to welcome back into the studio this morning with me, Minister J. Ebanks, of course, no stranger to For the Record, no stranger to Radio Cayman as well. Minister, good morning, sir. Welcome back to For the Record.
Morning, OC. Good morning, Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac. Good morning, everybody. It is a pleasure to be back here with you this morning. Happy to, that we're getting ready to on our 100-day mark right now. So everybody's excited to get on the radio to talk about everything that the government has been achieving and continue to achieve for the people of the country. So happy to be here with you this morning.
Excellent, excellent. I can tell you that one of our listeners has already, called in, and I would imagine that this falls under your responsibility in relation to the channel markers in the Frank Sound area, in the Frank Sound channel.
Okay. Thanks, OC. That listener must have been hearing some buzzing that we've been talking about, but just 2 weeks ago, I've actually asked the port to look at every channel marker that we have right now to make sure that they're all up and dated, all the lights are working. And we have some that we use the buoys on right now, and that we're going to be looking in the new year now to actually start to put back up the poles. So there's only one company that's our two companies that may be out there that can help us with putting up the poles. So they're going to be out getting prices now so we can fix back the permanent markers like how we used to have years ago.
Okay.
So all of that is in the making right now.
Excellent. And we want to extend good mornings and welcome to Minister Honorable Rolston Anglin. Good morning, sir. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Thank you for having me. Sorry for getting here a bit late.
That's okay. That's okay. Important thing is you're here. Okay. So we're going to be talking about the first 100 days, in office. What I have also encouraged my listeners to do is to send in any questions or comments that they may have that will assist us in more efficiently using up, the hour that we have. You're going to be with us until 9:15, and I would imagine that if at any point in time the opportunity arises that we can open up the phone lines, we certainly, will do that as well. So we're going to throw the mic over to you first, Minister Anglin.
Well, OC, thank you for having me. This is a good milestone because we're off to what I believe to be a very, very impressive start. I think anybody who measures objectively and looks on, and Minister Ebanks can attest to this, when people come together and check their egos at the door and just get to the work, it makes life a lot easier. It makes it makes decision making a lot easier. Being able to come to consensus a lot easier. And so that is the one thing that has impressed me the most, is that whilst we didn't run as a party, in fact, there's three of us who are who ran independently, and then there are the two groupings of two separate parties. I've found that most impressive that we've been able to do that. But certainly from my standpoint, with ministerial responsibility for education and finance, when I look on and I think about the fact that per capita we have one of the highest spends per student, yet we still have primary school students, the majority of them coming out performing below level. We then can't be surprised at what the end result is with too many of our children. And so we have too much of a big gap. We have those who do extremely well, and we need to push that percentage up, and we need to really, really work on the middle group, who is kids who get somewhere in that 5 to 6 level 2 passes, and really drive those standards. The fact of the matter is, when you spend, you need to look at impact. You'll hear me harp on this. Yes, having a 1-to-1 student to device ratio is impressive, and it costs a lot of money. What is the impact on teaching and learning and student outcomes? Because it'd be great for me if I hand Minister Ebanks a great device, but it does not help him in his ministry. I would spend a lot of money on the device, But if it hasn't helped him in his ministerial responsibility to help the people of the Cayman Islands, then there's been no impact. And so we've also had that whole scenario of what do we do in regards to build school buildings that are hugely expensive whilst we're very cramped up in the bracken and whilst we're very cramped. And I need monies to ensure that we get a new primary school in Northside. I need at least 2 buildings in this term in West Bay. And John Gray's at 1,350 students, and we know that that's not sustainable. And so again, when you allocate resources in such a way that it really hamstrings the government in the short term, that winds up being a real challenge. But we're going to work through that, and we're going to deliver what we have to in Cayman, on Grand Cayman. And certainly, last but by no means least, all of this noise around the preview. Minister Ebanks can tell the country that he would have warned them a heck of a lot about the impact that you have when you make policies, right? You can't raise civil servant salaries after a budget is cut is set by 5%, and then be surprised that the knock-on effect month on month is in the tens of millions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
And so you can't then raise seamen and veterans from $1,250 to $500 and not understand it's going to be a huge impact on the budget.
$1,250 to $1,500.
Yeah. And so we have been very diligent. The minister can attest. We have been working very, very hard to contain expenditures to try and ensure that we land 2025 hopefully in surplus, but certainly with as low a deficit as we possibly can. And so we're also undertaking some very, very important work in the Ministry of Finance, where we're looking at the budgeting process. I'll give you and being able to serve other ministries in a much, much deeper and more meaningful and impactful way. Just the other day, I had a meeting with the minister, with his team from agriculture. Now, agriculture is here to try get farmers good services, and hopefully get us the food security in certain areas. But you have to have the underpinning economic analysis and financial advice to get us there. The minister can speak to his agriculture policy, but we met to collaborate and get that process started. His ministry is going to drive it. That's his ministry. What we have to do is try to support them so that we can support them in a meaningful way from the Ministry of Finance to ensure that as we model this out economically, we can make it a seamless transition in the market.
So as far as finances are concerned, you're going to ensure that whatever is done, that it is well calculated in terms of what the financial impacts are going to be, how it's going to affect, the budget at the end of the day, so that there's some control over it rather than just spending without first analyzing what the consequences, what the results of that will be,
what all the impacts would be, and that's the key, right? The key is what is all the impacts, and coming back to cabinet colleagues and being upfront and honest, right? A minister may have an idea, and the idea is a good idea, and something will be impactful for our people. But if we're not measuring the true cost, then what, right? And I give an example, and the minister can speak to this way better than me. Right now, the public doesn't really get a good measure at just how much work he's doing in agriculture, because we have so many indirect subsidies. And that was one of the things that I saw his team eyes open up, and I saw them start to write when I started saying to them, they were thinking about the future subsidies, and I said, look at the huge subsidies you have now. Let's work, and let's make sure that by November, when we get down to the budget, that the minister can get up and talk about the work that he's doing, but also show the level of government subsidy that's already in there. And that's critically important. People look at when they go and get beef, locally grown beef, they have no idea how much subsidies are going in because of the feed subsidy that we have in terms of a program. And now he has an exciting program around eggs, and we want to measure these subsidies so that we can go to the public and we can actually ensure that the public understands the impact of government policy.
And more people, speaking about beef, more people are asking for locally produce beef because they say that they know exactly what it is that they're getting.
Well, the minister can speak to that.
Absolutely.
Minister?
Absolutely. Yes, just to piggyback off of what the minister was mentioning there, I'm going to probably start with the our egg program first that we've just initiated. We started from last year and got it going. And now we got, I think, 23 of our farmers up to date now, registered, certified, that they can actually go out and start to produce and sell eggs to the grocery stores. And those, right now, with our data that we're looking at, we're probably somewhere in about the 23-24% mark on what we import in. And we're hoping within the next 2 to 3 years, that we can be a lot more higher in there, somewhere in around the 70-odd range of what we import when it comes to eggs. But as again, like what the minister said, it was so important to make sure that the agriculture team works along with the finance team to be able to get that data and make sure that we're getting accurate data so that we can continue to push the program in the right way. But also, as you mentioned also about the subsidy that the government adds in, so that when people get out there and they want to know that what we're doing for farming, how much we're putting in, we can actually say this is what the government has contributed into agriculture. When we just came back from the Denbigh show and we were able to see what the Jamaica government actually puts into their farming and how much they're pushing in their farming, the education side of it, the training, the programs, the AI technology, all of that stuff that they have brought into farming now to make their farmers' life a lot happier. Now we're starting to look at doing the same thing where we're going to try to bring in all of that data and working along with the Minister of Education and also on how we can start to train more Caymanians to get them into farming and get them into not only to the farming part, where everybody thought about you going out and throwing a pick and a shovel and having to be out in the hot sun, but carrying it to the next stage, the next level of container farming, a more initiative greenhouse growing, whereas we can control the environment that we grow in and start to help sustain ourselves in certain things that our forefathers would have never thought that we would be able to grow here or be able to grow all year long. That's another thing because we're a seasonal island, so it's 1 minute it's peppers, next minute it's tomatoes, and we go along, and you get in your mangoes, you get your avocado season. But now we want to be able to get into areas where if one farmer is focusing on tomatoes and he has a 1 acre lot and a greenhouse, he can grow tomatoes all year long and supply that market. If that one farmer's in peppers, he can do the same thing. So we're going to be able to continue to push more and get our farmers more involved into it. And not only that, but getting our farmers involved more into the hotels, into the tourism market, because that's where we have just started to touch into the tourism market a little bit now. But there's a lot of a lot of areas in the tourism market where, especially where the mangoes. So we see a lot of farmers say, they got a lot of mangoes. Sometimes they can't get rid of them, but now a lot of them can actually juice them and be able to freeze them, and so they can make yogurt, so they can sell them to the grocery, to the hotels. So a lot of the hotels are getting more involved with it, with the agriculture sector now, and we're happy with that. Being that agriculture has played a crucial role in sponsoring some of the events that the hotels have been having and bringing the local market to them. Because I remember one of the local chefs down at one of the hotels said he didn't even realize that Cayman Islands had Wagyu beef here. And everything that he actually cooked that day for that event was from a local farmer. And it was from a Wagyu cow that he had, that the farmer had. So the genetics and the improvements of the genetics for all of the animals is something that we've been trying to push also to get going a lot better. And then, one of the other things that we're going to be looking in the cattle as we go along a little further, I know we spoke about it before, but is getting more not just into the AI, but into the embryo programs. Because the genetics for the embryos are so much better. And then not only that, but we can look at sex embryos also. So if farmers want more of a bull or whatever they want, we can give the farmer exactly what he wants for his herd.
And that will be generated, all done locally?
All locally on the island here.
Great.
We're scaling up to be able to get to that direction and be able to push the agriculture sector, because our main thing is, our focus is to try to help sustain the country as best as we can when it comes to food security.
Okay, gentlemen, we have to go to a commercial break. When we return, folks, the conversation will continue with Minister for Education and Training, as well as the Minister with responsibility for finance, Honorable Rolston Anglin, and Minister J. Ebanks, Plahi, I'll just say that rather than trying to name all of them. We will continue with that conversation after this short commercial break, so please stay tuned.
It's a sizzling summer with J&. Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with J&. Money. Visit www.jnmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with J&. Money.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Storms bring wind, rain, and unexpected costs to buy supplies, secure your home, or make minor repairs. Incidental expenses not covered by insurance. Until now, with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks of a Category 3 or stronger hurricane, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco's homeowners insurance. Visit Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me Minister Rolston Anglin and Minister J. Ebanks. We're talking about the first 100 days in office, and of course there will be an event coming up in relation to that as well. So, gentlemen, I'm going to throw the mic back over to you.
Yeah, OC, I just, one of the big things also for the, just to piggyback on the agriculture sector we were talking about earlier before the break, but today I'm going to be meeting the agriculture team out in East End at the farmland.
Okay.
And I know that has been something that a lot of the farmers have been waiting on to be able to get access to that land out there. And we're hopefully this week, next week coming, we should be able to start to announce some of the farmers that will be out there getting access to these 1 acre lots that we've put in place out there. So that's exciting news for them to just, again, turn around to be able to just push food security in the country. We have a lot of individuals that are actually looking into carrying it to the next level of farming, what we talk about, the container farming and the greenhouse farming. Hopefully, and then within the year, we can start to see a lot more talks about that and getting that side of things scaled up. But just to also go into housing, just to let people know. I mean, we've closed on I think about 8 of the homes right now in Northside. There's each pretty much every day we have somebody that's going to be getting a key next week, going forward for the home. So you'll see a lot of activity moving around in that Flamingo Point. Is what the name of it is, and that's exciting now that majority of those homes are ready to go for the for new homeowners or young homeowners. I can say I'm happy to say that it's a lot of the individuals that are in there are young Caymanians, young Cayman professionals, and I'm very pleased to know that the younger Caymanians have taken up that opportunity to grab and to be able to get a home up there. We're looking at right now, and we just pulled down our permits for the Apple Blossom site in West Bay. So I know Minister Kathy is excited about that. So we should be getting going very shortly and starting to build homes on that particular site there. And then we're going to be looking at other sites throughout the whole island, and we're going to be coming up with a new concept instead of just building the homes, but more of a townhouse style homes now. Try to utilize a little bit more of the land space that we have on some of the locations, and coming up with partnership deals, triple Ps and partnerships, how we can start to work more with the developers and stuff out there, because that market has been left behind now. One time, it was covered by Mr. Frank Hall and them, but they've kind of slowed down in the building in that area. So now everybody's kind of gone to the high-end market and left that medium and low-end market down there. So we want to try to get more incentivize developers on how to get in, where we can do partnerships, deal with the government, with national housing, and how we can try to push our housing policy that we got coming out, our fifth, so that we can try to get as many Caymanians back into their homes, owning their own piece of paradise and having their keys and not feeling that they're left out. It's one of the best things you can go. You'll feel happy today to go and buy a car, and you'll wash that car probably every single day for the first 2 weeks. Then after that, you won't. It's like nothing after that to you. But when you own your own home, and coming into your own home is nothing like having that. That's something totally different.
And that's so important, OC. I mean, and this is about what the NCFC is about, right? We solve problems. We're change agents. We work together, and we come up with innovative solutions. So the minister will be happy to know that just yesterday, so I haven't even gotten to speak to him yet. So just yesterday in my update meeting with the team in finance, I left them with a series of projects. And one of them is we're going to be going to the Minister of Housing with a proposed outline of what his triple P needs to look like for housing.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we are going to come up with all the belts and braces, going straight from financing all the way down to the approval process. Now, him and planning are going to have to fill the gap, right? And then the other piece that has to then come from that is modernizing the procurement process. Because the fact is, the government of the Cayman Islands, in fact, any government, there's no government that's able to fulfill housing for all their residents.
Precisely, yes.
It's the private sector that does that. Right? But we have a peculiar situation in that we don't have direct taxes of any form. We're indirect tax-based, consumption-based economy. And so you struggle along the lines of certain areas when you have such a narrow tax base. What we're talking about is, how do we mobilize private capital in a triple P scenario to be able to help us get the thousands of homes that we need to build?
Correct.
Where government sits there with a piece of land, providing a very useful asset, and the private sector can come in and bring their efficiencies and technology to develop. But that has to be structured well, and we have to do the work behind the scenes to get it done. I'm confident in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to present the Minister responsible for housing with a very, very innovative and solution that works and is going to have all of the risks covered, so that we ensure we can deploy that private capital and fulfill housing at the lower and medium end.
And the private capital that is being sought, are we looking at Caymanian entities to participate in that?
You will have to be 100% Caymanian entity. We are not. Our proposal is going to be that we are not going to have anyone else participate. We have more than enough Caymanians, 100% owned Caymanian businesses to develop medium to low end housing. That is without question. So yes, you have to be Caymanian, but we are also going to put other stipulations in terms of points. We're going to put points for who your subcontractors are and the percentage of Caymanians that they have employed. We're not going to go down that old way, because when I was here 12 years ago, sitting in these seats, we would dole out concession packages that said, yes, you have to have Caymanian employment X percentage. And we had no way of even monitoring that and policing that. We're going to police it up front. So people out there that are listening, you better go find your Caymanian employees and Caymanians that are going to do the work on these job sites. Because I can tell you, the company who comes to the table that is a Caymanian-owned contractor / developer and has Caymanian employees, there are going to be a significant amount of points granted in this process for those companies to give them that leg up so that they're not continue to be left behind.
Minister Jay, you mentioned about the 1 acre plots of land in East End. And I know Minister Miles is responsible for Caymanian employment and immigration. But I have heard many farmers talk about the fact that when it comes to having to roll over their farm help, it is extremely difficult. In the same area that you're talking about, there are many Caymanians who own 1 acre lots up there, and they have farmers there who basically farm the land for them. But then they're faced with this rollover crisis, and if they only have one worker, then transitioning on to another one for at least a year, and we don't know what the rollover policy, will come later on, and not wanting to push your hand in terms of, what is being developed, but would some consideration be given to the same way that they have for special caregivers, that something of that nature could be done in the agriculture field for those farmers?
That's the corner.
Sometimes I wonder,
at 8:45 in the morning, I could swear that you all had this conversation before I came.
I was going to say, OC, you got a bug in cabinet office because exactly what you just said would be, Minister could testify almost word for word. It must have been a script I gave him or something. Almost word for word what we've had for conversation already about the farmers when it comes to the immigration policy. And we're looking into it and to make some of those changes to help the farmers. So I understand what's happening with the farmers. And I can tell you we're looking into it to be able to see how we can help them as best as we can. But it won't be something that'll roll across for just every single farmer.
Yes, right.
You will have
because everybody then will become a farmer.
Correct. It will have to be a strict policy.
You really have bugged the room. So you gave him his question, you gave him and then you provided my answer.
So it will have to be for
it's a great minds think alike.
Yes. It will have to be for commercial farmers, right? And we're updating what it is to be a commercial farmer, because we understand a lot of the large farmers are saying that is one of their weak points right there, right? When they lose their best handman that they have, and because of a rollover policy, and they have to go home and then come back, and it's like retraining somebody else to take over the whole farm over again. Yeah. So yeah, we are looking at that. So hopefully in the new year, once the new immigration stuff start to roll out, that'll be something that you see into it that we can make that change.
Excellent. We're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. The conversation with Ministers Anglin and Ebanks will continue. Don't change that. That is Jay Ebanks. Don't change that dial. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have Minister Rolston Anglin, Minister J. Ebanks in the studio talking about the first 100 days in office, and of course there will be an event that will be announced. In relation to that, I'll share more information with you on that as well. But you're also hearing some tidbits right here on For the Record in relation to some of the things that are being considered by the government as well. And you have heard them, talk about the synergies that have been created despite the fact that you have three independent members of parliament who are ministers, and you have two separate parties as well that has each of them has representation in terms of cabinet as well. And so far, so good. Everything is working.
Everything is working. As the minister mentioned before, everybody checks their ego at the door. When we walk into that door, it's all about what we can do to empower Caymanians. We're not about kicking the can down the road. We want to resolve the problems. We are problem solvers. We want to make sure that we're working towards getting everything that we need to get done for our Caymanians. It's all about what we can do to make that Caymanian life that much better, to make sure that Caymanians are proud to own a piece of Cayman, to make sure that they're proud to say that they're Caymanian. That's what the NCFC is about. That's what we're all about, right? Is making sure that we're putting people back to work, making sure that we're putting Caymanians first in their country. That's what we're delivering on. That's what this government's mandate's about, is empowering our people back in the places where they want to go. So I know the Minister of Immigration and Works will be on and talking about all of the good stuff that he's doing and pushing to put Caymanians back to work. And even recently we were just talking about putting a drive together also to be able to, a work drive, which he'll be speaking about a lot more about. But OC, it is... what we do is we've broken down these walls and these that we've had before, where a minister, this is your side, this is his side. And we, as you can see, me and the Minister of Finance and Education, we're working close together, but every single body has an input into almost every body's ministry. So it's not just one person running off and doing his thing. We're all back together. They come back with it. They come back with a problem. We're all around the table trying to come up with a solution. We don't leave nobody hanging. We're all working together, whether that is from tourism to education to planning to everything else, because we all campaign on something different. And as you said, it's three different groups together. But when we get together, it's one family. And that one family is to deliver for the people of the country.
That's right. And also imagine, so take that now and multiply it out. So not only do we have three independents and two different parties, and let's just loosely cluster the independents together, although each of us had our own manifestos and two different party manifestos. Then, to Minister Ebanks' point, we have 8 different ministries. And for too long, Cayman has had 8 ministries, 8 governments.
That's right.
Let me give you a classic example. The work that Minister Miles and I have done are already started around our scholarship recipients returning home and getting them to employment. I can't do that by myself, right? Now, I have another problem over in my ministry. I'm not satisfied with our scholarships database. I'm not going to go out and try to recreate the wheel. I'm already talking to Minister Miles about his work database and whether we can roll that, add on to that in such a way that we actually add an element where when you're students, you get added. because one of the things that I campaigned on was a national manpower database. And a national manpower database wasn't just about those who are in the labor market, but it was also about those who are on their way to the labor market. And we can't continue to have Caymanians graduate from university in May and send their resumes out in June.
Yes.
And companies, quite frankly, and quite rightly, have already made their employment plans and their hiring plans. Now, I want to talk about one other area that is going to take a lot of collaboration that you all talked about. You all talked about farmhands and farmers, right? I always say, what happens if the person drops down of a heart attack? Are you going to make your business collapse? So this business about there's irreplaceable men and women, none of us are irreplaceable.
True.
Quite frankly, the graveyards are filled with irreplaceable men and women. We all have a finite time on this earth that God blesses us with. What we need to be working more closely with is with the minister to ensure that we put together a proper farming training program to implement at SIFAC so that we can prepare Caymanians. What big farmers now need to do is they now need to flip their mind and say, well, hold on. If we are going to get Caymanians, we're not going to continue with this almost indentured servitude type of arrangement, but you might need to think about how you're going to bring on young Caymanians. You may need to give them a small percentage of the farm. You may need to incentivize it to keep them, because we know we can't have 2,000 farmers and have it sustainable, the market sustainable and the industry sustainable. But then how do you ensure that a young Caymanian who comes to work for you as a farm hand but shows great aptitude, and 5-10 years in, he's really a legitimate middle manager who could go and open his own farm? Now, big farmer, you need to understand. Take the greed, check it at the door. How do you now incentivize that young man or woman to stay with you, make a good middle class life, and be able to have their own home and boat and have a good solid life? Work hard, but be able to play hard as well. Those are the sorts of difficult conversations that we're going to have in not just farming, but a lot of other areas in Cayman. But getting back to the whole issue around triple Ps around housing, I want to make sure that the point I made was clear.
Yeah.
And this isn't just going to be about housing. The minister can tell you this is something we've already talked about as a government, is that as part of our reform to the procurement process, we are going to insist that all procurements that go out, there will be points allocated to anyone who has 100% Cayman-owned company, and then points for how many Caymanians you have employed. And you're not just going to send in a document, you're going to send in a record showing and demonstrating that those persons are in your employ. What we have seen in Cayman for far too long now is persons go get a trade and business license, hire 10 persons on a work permit, and now you're the one that can build a relatively big business because you're from that country, so you can recruit from that country, so you can get a comparative advantage over a Caymanian, have cheap labor, and then get rewarded by the government by winning the contracts. That is absolutely madness, and Caymanians have been marginalized by trying to do things the right way, by hiring Caymanians, but then when they submit their bids, they get no benefit for that.
Yeah.
And we'll see, just to piggyback on that, we're not just talking about for housing. We're talking about pretty much everything that goes across the board when it comes to government outsourcing or bidding on any kind of projects that we have, whether it's coming from maintaining the beaches to every single thing. We want to make sure that Caymanians are scoring higher. You're scoring higher just because you are a Caymanian and you are employing more Caymanians with you. So right off the bat, your points should be higher than anyone else that has work permit holders with them, because we want to make sure that we're putting Caymanians back to work. That is our main focus. And one of the things that I've found being here within the last 4 years is that when it comes to the thing, and I've mentioned this to the minister several times, that we need, and he mentioned that we're going to be looking at it. This whole issue of how we procure bonfire and everything else. A lot of the small Caymanian contractors that have been building in Cayman for decades do not want to compete and get involved into this market anymore, because what they're saying is that the market was set up to make them fail. What the market, it was set up to push them out. So what we're getting now is the larger people are the ones that are bidding, and then they're getting the smaller man now to come in and do a lot of the work for them, right?
Yes.
And then the smaller man is the one that's doing all the work, and they're just overseeing like project managers, right? So what
and taking the lion's share of the profits.
And they're taking the lion's share of the profits. But what it's doing, it is driving the cost for government, and what we do business with them is driving up. Because if we can start to get our smaller contractors and Caymanians involved, no matter what aspect of the field that they're involved into the system, and make the system a lot more easy for them to be able to get in there, we will bring down the cost of when it comes to doing business in here, and bring down the government costs.
And then at the same time, in terms of what do we say to those persons who say, well, what are we doing to prepare Caymanians, young Caymanians, in what programs will be instituted or will be boosted in terms of preparing some Caymanians for those jobs as well?
Well, see, I mean, we're starting the first leg. The Minister of Employment is starting that first leg. We're focusing and trying and pushing people to hire Caymanians. And yes, we know, and that's where the Minister of Education and the Minister of Employment work close together, because he's going to be the one that's going to be training and making sure that the Caymanians have all the necessary tools and that they need for education. The employment man, his job is to make sure that those kids that are coming from that school, and as we've said around the table, if we have 500 kids or 400 kids coming back from university, and we know what field they have studied, we are going to hold the people accountable that they have to take those children back and put them into work.
That's right.
It is just simple. There's no more about apologizing for it no more. We have to stop it, what we're doing now, and just stand up. And this government is saying, look, we're here. We're going to change the mandate of how the policy has been before, and we're going to put Caymanians back to work. That's right.
That's right. I mean, in OC, I can recall, and I've said this, and the minister can attest, this business about saying that I'm for Caymanian and then tagging on and saying, but that doesn't mean I'm anti. I don't apologize to anybody. I can't go anywhere else. I'm a born and bred Caymanian.
This is home.
Anyone who comes here and wants to be a part of the Cayman family and makes it through the new system of progressive rights of immigration we're going to have, we welcome them that can make it through and be a part of the Cayman family. However, understand that as long as this government is in place, you're going to do business the way that we say benefits the people of this country. And I don't apologize to that for anyone. In fact, anyone who thinks that I should apologize for that and is not Caymanian, I think perhaps should think about whether or not this is quite the right place. Because that means that you're not a person that has the benefit or the best interest of this country. Because if we don't take us off this path that we're on, the trajectory we're on, where youth unemployment continues to be unacceptably high. Yes, we brag about unemployment being at 2.something%. What we don't talk about is unemployment for those persons under 25, which is disproportionately higher than the national average. We are not getting our young people incorporated in the economy. And so the bottom line is, just as my old profession in the 1970s, the government of the day did not even pass a law. They simply told all the big 10 accounting firms at the time, you cannot get a work permit for staff accountants. Every single firm then started a scholarship programs to create staff accountants. Mr. Connor, that's still not in legislation, and the firms still do it. It goes to show that when politicians are serious and they say to the private sector, look, if you need to find the right people, go and find them. It's not going to be easy, but business isn't meant to be easy.
Exactly.
You go find them. Now, have we not supplied enough of the skill sets that the economy needs? We have not done it systematically or strategically. And so that is where I am going to be working very, very closely with Minister Miles to ensure that the skill sets he needs, we speak with the private sector. They, along with government, agree on what qualifications and programs they need. And we put our young people through it, because we have to remove that excuse that, oh, well, they don't have the right qualification. They don't have a qualification. Then when they do get one, or it's then
no
said,
experience.
No experience. Or we don't think that qualification is really what we need. Mm-hmm. It's and so we don't believe in the approach that governments ought to just say for hotel and training and or for HVAC that we will simply pick a program. The industry needs to say, here's the right program. This is going to provide the skill sets we need. We then fund Caymanians to go through the program and provide the labor market with the skill sets.
Okay, folks, top of the hour. We got to go to 9 o'clock news. When we return, we will still have about 15 minutes to go with Minister Anglin and Minister J. Ebanks. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
You're invited to Strong Start First 100 Days Community Update. You'll be invited to engage directly with ministers and parliamentary secretaries to learn more about the key achievements from the National Coalition for Caymanians Administration's first 100 day in office. It's taking place from 4 to 7 today at Cardinal Avenue. In international news, Donald Trump is en route to Alaska for talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the Ukraine war. Trump posted on Truth Social, high stakes, ! The summit will mark Trump and Putin's first one-to-one meeting for 6 years. Meanwhile, Russia's foreign minister says, quote, our position is clear and unambiguous. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is notably excluded from the talks and has warned that decisions made in his absence will be meaningless. Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, with tens of thousands of soldiers killed on both sides. And an Afghan man whose details were accidentally leaked by the UK in a major data breach has been detained in Pakistan for imminent deportation alongside several family members. The BBC has seen documents which appear to confirm the man was part of Afghan special forces who worked alongside British forces in Afghanistan, known as the Triples. The threat of deportation comes as Pakistan continues its drive to remove what they say are, quote, illegal foreign nationals to their countries. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me Minister Rolston Anglin and Minister J. Ebanks. They have a whole lot to talk about, so I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to throw the mic over to them, of course, talking about the first 100 days in office. but also talking about, future policies as well. Gentlemen.
OC, thank you again. I don't know if we've been getting any callers coming in, but I'm always happy to take a caller or anything that's come, anyone that's been texting you on your notes or whatever. Let us know, please.
Okay,
Open for open mic anytime. OC, just wanted to go off of Port Authority. You'll see some little changes happening around the front there towards the tourism area out there. We'll be putting up some new canvases and stuff. Try to make the place look a lot better, but a lot cooler for the our guests that are coming in, to give them a little better experience when they're coming off of the port. And just a main announcement too, that we've just recently actually sent out to purchase a new crane for the port to help be able to speed up the efficiency and stuff that we have going on out there. And hopefully, I know the guys will be very happy to know that we have a new crane coming, and we don't have one that's always breaking down and creating a lot more work for them. So that crane should be here by the end of this year, God's willing, and keeping our fingers crossed. Everything goes great. Our mandate that we've been looking at for the Airport Authority is also that we're going to put Caymanians back to work there. We're looking at putting in our jetways. I keep saying, OC, it is the Caymanians, people's money that we spend. And for years, and every time we look at the airport, Caymanians keep saying, why haven't we added jetways? Why haven't we did this? And for some reason, we keep saying, well, it was too expensive. But we keep doing expansions to this. We're looking at the new G8 terminal, which I'll be working close to the Minister of Finance with also. And we're looking at how we can do a triple P partnership on that also. And putting that out, right? Because, again, this is something, yes, we need it, but how many Caymanians are going to be walking through that general aviation terminal? So instead of us looking at spending whatever it's going to cost out there, we're going to put that back into the money back into the infrastructure of our new airport, or into our airport, where the Caymanians go through to make their life happier, make their transition through the airport smoother. We're getting new machineries very shortly and in there to make the life smooth going in and out. And it's all about just, again, OC, putting Caymanians back to work. I want when you come to the airport, you be happy to feel that you see Cayman. That is my mandate, to make sure that when you walk into that airport, you feel that you're at Cayman still. And we're going to get there. And we have the support of the government. I have the support of everybody. So we're going to be able to push and go that direction. When it comes to the planning aspect of things, we are well on our way to bringing in our new revision codes very shortly. There's going to be a lot of amendments coming to the planning law in the new year coming now. A lot of the drafting work that we've been doing over the previous years are right to the very end now. So we're going to be able to start and roll out a lot of planning changes coming forward. And one of the things that I spoke about on your last show is that we were looking at the setbacks, right? And on beach setbacks. And that's something that the team is already looking into, and how we're going to put that in play. And hopefully in the first part of the year, we'll be able to start to see the changes in the law with that. And I'm going to just throw it out there too, OC. It's something that we have been looking at right now. And as Minister of Lands, the team has tasked me with it. But we are going to look at the stamp duties on certain locations and when it comes to the Cayman Islands. We know the 7 Mile Beach area. Right now the stamp duty is what, 7.5?
7.5%.
7.5%. We are going to be looking at moving that stamp duty up higher. We realize, we know there's not one Caymanian that are down there, and we're selling our prime real estate, and the Caymanians aren't getting any benefit from it. So we're going to be looking at raising the stamp duty on certain locations, and whether there's a beach zone. So we're going to be coming up with a zone around, and anything within that zoning, the stamp duty will be higher for those locations.
Sounds great.
Because I know Caymanians are going to be happy with that. And it's, if a Caymanian can't get to live in the area and enjoy that area, then we must reap the benefit from that area.
Okay. I believe we invited a caller. Okay. So I believe we have a couple. We have a couple of callers as well. Let's grab the caller on the landline. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning.
Morning, good morning.
Yeah, morning. My crew on there, Mr. Anglin, Mr. J.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, we finally got Caymanians elected.
Yes, sir. Hope to see you next week when I'm in the BRAC, too.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you know something? When I listen to you guys, right? You are representing the people of the Cayman Islands. What it is that our governments before think that it's a sin, like Mr. Ezra Miller said. If you say one thing about somebody else, you're anti this, you're anti that. No, we are Caymanians. What is wrong with looking after your own people that elected you, that you're born and you raised and you grew up with? What is so wrong about that? Because we barefoot, we don't talk like other people? Well, we are Caymanians. And let me tell you something. Minister Anglin, Minister J, and Mr. Miles, and the crew that is here, you know, I can't remember the saying because I read a lot, but I know by talking to people, it's like the dark gray clouds are lifted from all the Caymanian people. We can see the blue sky that we're supposed to see, you know? And really and truly, it really makes one feel different.
Yeah, you can see light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not the train coming at you.
Yeah, good. And Minister Miles, boy, no. You know me, I got how I say. Like in the domino game, Mr. Manderson, because they're touching on Hecon with his civil servants, he's retiring. Now Mr. Bulgin, Sam Bulgin, join the crew. Leave the station. You're long overdue. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Well, you know, we're unifiers, and we're bringing Caymanians together. Mm-hmm. That's what this government is about. That's what the NCFC is about. And because we join hands like that, Caymanians feel it and see it, right? People are going to take the cue from those they elect. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so that is what we're saying. And Mr. Connor, for too long, there's been a tunnel. We don't operate in a tunnel. So I quite agree with this caller. We operate in an open fashion. We're very transparent. We've come to the public with what we're doing. But, as he said, the dark clouds have been rolled back. Blue, clear skies are here. It's sunshine and fresh, sweet breezes because they're breezes of innovative change. That's what we're bringing to the table, and we're working cohesively for the people of this country. And in doing so, it's going to make the lives better for everyone in this community. Everyone in this community.
Excellent. We're going to. You want to take the WhatsApp caller before we go to our next commercial break, Ms. Susan? Let's take the next caller before we go to a break. WhatsApp caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor. Good morning, ministers.
Good morning.
Good morning. So happy this morning to hear Mr. J, what you said a while ago. I'm going to get a petition up for you and Minister Anglin and Minister Miles. But I want to get it for you first. As a Caymanian hero, I don't want it to pass on before and it becomes heroes. Mr. J, for years, I used to do building for years. I was one of the best builders in this island. And my name is still around, George Gillette. But Mr. J, what you said a while ago brings, I don't know, not swanky lemonade to my ears. Because the big contractors in this island are taking away the work from the local contractors. And I know many young Caymanian builders, quality work.
That's right.
Honest work. And they haven't got a job this year yet. You can call me and I can let you know. I know about 4 or 5 of them. quality builders, concrete, lumber, whatever, and have not hit a lick this year yet. I am so happy to hear that, and congratulations to the two of you ministers. Mr. Anglin, I can't say nothing about you so much. It would take 10 years to say about you with this education, sir. Congratulations to you all, and I hope to hear from you all real soon.
Yes,
Thank you all, and keep up the good work, Mr. J and Mr. Anglin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. We're going to go to a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
It's a sizzling summer with Jan Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with Jan Money. Visit www.janmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with Jan Money.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage, with tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Start. Stop. That's how long it takes to react to a child crossing the street. How long would it take you to apply the brakes? How long would it take the parents to forgive you? How long would it take you to forgive yourself? Slow down. Save a life. Not only theirs, but your own. Texting, speeding, and ignoring safety rules can cost lives. Visit gov.ky/road safety to learn more and help keep our roads safe.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Minister Rolston Anglin and Minister J. Ebanks. Minister Ebanks, on one of the questions that we had, and I basically answered it, but I'll give you an opportunity to add anything as well. And you did mention it earlier. The question had to do with the age group and whether or not young Caymanians are benefiting from the new housing. And you did mention, when you spoke about it, that most of them are young Caymanians, as well. Mm-hmm. And Minister Anglin.
And young families too.
And
we also do look at individuals that are mothers that have children that are on their own too.
Single mothers,
Single mothers get first preference too.
Okay. Minister Anglin, this one says, is it possible for all Caymanians returning home on government scholarship who are employed by the private sector, is it not possible for them to be able to be employed by the government? Those with education and degrees from some of the best universities.
Well, see, I mean, you're a former civil servant, and you well know the answer to that question. No,
Yes,
I mean,
yes, yeah.
we would have everyone working for the government if we followed that track, right? So no, I mean that clearly, and the fact is, most people are going to get rewarding careers outside the civil service, right? If you're an accounting major, you're going to get a rewarding career by working at a PwC, at EY, or what have you. What we have to do as government is we have to align people with jobs and the economy before they get back. And that's the hard work that we're doing to develop our national manpower database, which allows the private sector to have access to the critical information that they need, which is what are Caymanians studying, when are they graduating, so that we can make this transition a lot more seamless. As it relates to the actual ministry, one of the things that I've spoken to the chief officer about, because I was quite surprised to find that there was a gap here. What I discovered, there's a gap actually with people who are studying education and education-related fields. That there were even gaps there where we as a ministry didn't know precisely who was returning. And so I've told her we have to close that gap immediately. After all, we're the ministry to have the scholarships data secretariat.
Yep.
So we are looking to close that gap and ensure that we are making that transition a lot better. And in fact, what I've also said is we need to treat our young Caymanians returning as who then go through the process and return as teachers much more akin to like we were recruiting a foreign teacher. Because when a non-Caymanian teacher is coming back, we give them lots of allowances as they come into the country. We need to roll out the red carpet for Caymanians or young Caymanian teachers. If we're going to say that we're serious about them returning home and taking up their rightful place in our system, then we need to treat them as the professionals, young professionals that they're looking to be. But I want to make sure that one very, very important point isn't lost on this whole procurement initiative and addition really that we're going to make as a government. The minister is quite right in the sense that there's been a disproportionate amount of government contracts, large contracts especially, that has been taken up by larger contractors. What I've actually seen also in the Ministry of Education, and he would have seen in Public Works with small works contracts, is that we're also being very, very clear that even if you're a small operator, you are going to not be able to simply use your friends who have worked in the civil service and get access to contracts where Caymanians who have Caymanian-owned companies and are 100% Caymanian and be disadvantaged.
Right. That's correct.
Because I can tell you, for example, there are Caymanian-owned businesses that do maintenance, for example, for government. But there are 4 or 5 people, maybe 2 or 3 are non-Caymanians. That's fine that they have the contract now. The reality is, going forward, if there's another Caymanian who has 3 or 4 people in their crew and all of them are Caymanians, they are going to get the points in that category. Because we believe that if you are going to go out and find Caymanians and train them and work with them and treat them so that they stay with you, then you ought to have a benefit. So this benefit that we're talking about is whether you're a medium to large Caymanian owner of a business, and it's just not construction. This is any business, any bid that we're putting out. We are going to look at your employment record, because if we're not benefiting Caymanians and incentivizing Caymanian companies to hire Caymanians, then what? Then what are we saying? We're saying go hire anyone and you still can come and enjoy the benefits of winning government bids. Those days are over, and we are going to ensure that we change the regulations and change the points allocated to benefit not just persons who are Caymanians who own a business, but those who employ Caymanians in that business.
Okay, we have 2 callers on hold. Let's grab is it a landline caller first, Miss Susan? Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning. We can hardly hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Much better now.
Okay. Morning, Minister J, Minister Anglin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question for Minister J. I'm one of those young Caymanians, 28 years old. Been waiting on my house to build on my land over about 2 years now, and I really respect your work, and you really do work hard. But I really want to know what's up with national housing.
Well, thank you for that, and I can tell you, national housing has been going through a rigorous amount of different back and forth when it comes to hiring and trying to upscale. And if we want to get national housing to the point where we need, national housing is a small authority right now. There's going to need more bodies that are going to be in there to help it get to the where we need to get to. But to find out what's happening with your particular house on your build on your own program, I think you said that was. I'll be happy to look at that afterwards to find out
property.
Why. You can send me a message 916-4249 so I can check to see if it's something if it's from the planning side of it or if it is something from the national housing side of it, and why it's been taking a little while. I know we have gotten a quantity surveyor to start to look at some of the homes that we're building because we realize that the cost is going up. And some of the homes we can't build them for exactly the price that we were building them for. So in that aspect too, we are starting to look at some new designs that we can bring it down to be able to help with affordability for the homes. But I'm happy to look and come and figure out what's happening with your home. But OC, one of the things that I've found lately is when it comes to planning, our standards are at the same, whether it's residential, commercial, whatever it's at. We have one set of standards, and that's what's causing a lot of the holdups in the planning sector. We need to come up ways, and I'm gonna be tasking a few of contractors, a few of the architects to get on board with me to be able to see how we can. And I was just talking with an architect last night. He was giving me all of the data that he finds from his side, what is causing the hiccups on his side.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that when the planning laws were changed years ago, again, no one spoke to the small contractor. No one spoke to that small architect. These things were designed, and I make no apologies to it. They were designed for the larger entities to be able to control the market, to be able to force them to be able to keep the smaller man down and allow that to come. And I make no apologies about it because I see it, and that's what it is. And there's changes that we need to start to make now. Going back, whether it's regulation changes or whatever, and I'm hoping a lot of it will be regulation because we can get it done a lot faster.
Yes.
But there are changes that we're going to have to make on how we're going to make planning a lot more faster, how we're going to help the contractors move. There's too many inspections that we need to go through to be able to get to and what it's doing now, it's wearing our inspectors out because we can't keep up with the demand because the numbers of people that planning has is at the same number that they were at 2007.
Wow.
And the development has outscaled itself. So the numbers of people that we've got now, planning needs about another 25 to 30 people if they want to keep up with the direction that we're heading into. And the problem that we're having is that we can't find good talent when it comes into the inspection field. So what I've actually started to look at is how do we get some of our talent that are coming out of our PWD class, our electricians, our plumbers, and start to want to be able to get them to feed them into our planning aspect in here, where we can get Caymanians start more involved in the inspections and not having to go to Texas, not having to go to Miami or trying to bring other people from overseas to be planning inspectors for us.
Excellent. We're going to take a break so that we can welcome Minister Isaac Rankine into the studio as well. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy, and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
When a hurricane hits, unexpected costs can add up fast. Homeowners are usually out of pocket for these costs to get supplies or make minor repairs. But with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks after a Category 3 or stronger storm, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco Homeowners Insurance. Call 949-8101 or visit Cineco.ky for a quote. That's Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have been joined by Minister Isaac Rankine, Minister responsible for youth, sports, culture and heritage in the studio with us. We want to welcome him and Minister Anglin and Minister Ebanks. They have a hard stop, so after we welcome Minister Rankine, then we're going to throw the mic back over to them. Sir, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record, sir.
Thank you, Osi, and good morning, Cayman. Good morning to my colleagues here. We obviously here because we are celebrating milestones of sorts for us, the 100 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited because I've been listening to my colleagues on the radio, and they've been making the good case on behalf of the people of this country, our Caymanians. And it's a pleasure to sit in cabinet and caucus with these fine men and women who are forms of government in terms of what we want to deliver for our Caymanian people. And I want to thank them for that, but also thank the public for supporting us and guiding us through this critical journey that we're on right now.
Okay, thank you very much. Minister Ebanks, over to you.
Thank you, OC. Just to go back off what we're saying, but as I mentioned before, I think when we got ministers on, we're going to have to ask the Minister of Finance to give a little bit more money so that we don't have so many more breaks, because I feel like we're taking a break every 10 minutes here as we get going. But OC, just going back off what we were talking about, planning aspects and stuff with the individual that called in, right? And how we can actually try to streamline this and speed this process up. And I do apologize to him that he's been waiting that long, but I know there's been several people. One of the things we've been trying to get National Housing is to update their whole data system, right? To put it all online and be able to put it where people can actually track their system itself. So that if you don't have to call in and look at something all the time, you should be able to live time be able to track where your product application is, what's going through it, and all of that. So we are trying to work into that way. We just put a brand new board together. I'm very pleased with the new board and the way that they have actually taken off and started to meet to get things done. And they have already within the first couple of weeks have checked a lot of things for me and came back to me and said, Minister, here's a lot of the things that we have found that are wrong. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a lot of things that we're going to have to correct if we want to be able to push housing, because we don't see us be able to push housing in the direction that the government wants us to put housing in is if we don't get some of these checkpoints fixed.
Okay.
And Minister mentioned on one of it also about the be able to work direction we can work on with triple Ps. And, one of the things, going back to the planning side of it, OC, is that we're going to start to look at how we could actually start to bring in, or we're going to, in the future, in the new year, we're going to be able to do a lot more third-party inspections. But I'm going to get some of the smaller contractors and the smaller architects together, and we're going to start to look through every single thing, what we can do right now to be able to streamline, to make planning more faster. Do we have to have this? Do planning have to get into this? We just brought a paper just recently of things that we want to look at exempting that planning doesn't have to get into. Does planning really have to get involved? CP have to get involved with building a wall? Do you have to get involved with building a gazebo? All these little things we're involving ourselves into is like we're finding ways to put a stop more than finding ways for a path.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And what we want to do is take out those stop blocks now and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's your mandate of how you're going to plan and go forward. We're not going to change the safety aspect of how we build. We want to continue to keep that standard there. That's right. Because we are the top builders in the Caribbean. And that's one thing that we're looking at is that the new codes that are coming will be the Cayman Islands the first ever codes that will be called the Cayman Islands codes. So the Code Council is building our codes, which we're taking the Miami-Dade codes also, adding our regulations to it, and creating a Cayman Islands codes. So anybody throughout the whole world that wants to build to the Cayman Islands standards could actually pull our codes down and be able to build to our standards. And I know a lot of our colleagues in the Caribbean are actually looking at this also and waiting to see how we put in this and so that they could actually look if these are codes and regulations that they will be able to help for their building aspect and back in their island where they're from. But there are too many steps, too many inspections, and we're going to start to look at that and how we get through that and wave that out. And we're hoping that by we getting into third-party reviews, we could start to eliminate a lot of that stress that puts on to our building inspectors. I can tell you, some of our building inspectors are probably, I'm going to just do a number, but maybe more than 30 inspections a day, where they're bound to make a mistake somewhere in between doing 30 inspections versus, and you're covering from West Bay to East End. Now, we're wanting to be able to look at our inspectors shouldn't we have to be doing more than 9 inspections a day. Minimum is that in those numbers. That's where we need to be at. But we'll see. I have to leave at 9:30 because I need to go to the Minister Rankine's district of East End. And I'm going up there to look at the farmland so that we're getting this ready so that we can announce the new farm members that are going to be getting this land very shortly, but also to look at where we are with the new dock that we're building in East End for the member also, and be able to give him an update. But I'm pretty sure he'd probably give me an update on next. He crosses it every day.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure he's watching it more than I am.
Yes, sir. Up to yesterday when I arrived from overseas on business, I stopped there. That's the first thing I did, stop to see the progress of the dock.
It's happening.
So
Great.
we have that project going on for our fellow Easterners, and then we're just about there right now to looking at the new Morgan's Harbor dock in West Bay for my colleagues from West Bay. The contractor has been chosen. Legal is looking at the contract. There's been a little back and forth with the contract of how they're drafting that, but I can guarantee you, we have the Coastal Works license. We have the money. We are ready to go now. So as soon as legal sorts out the little fine print with the contractor, we will get going, and the West Bayers will have a brand new dock in the Morgan's Harbor area. And also, there's some dredging that needs to do there. I think someone told me that there's an old sailboat or something that's there that we need to lift out of water. So we've been working very closely with the Department of Environment of what they want to see done around the area and some cleaning up that they would like to see while we're out there. So we're going to be working very close together on how we move forward. But OC, thank you for having me here. As I said before, the NCFC, what we're about is empowering Caymanians, pushing Caymanians forward, uplifting our people and giving them this and say, look here, we're going to put our people up. It is yours. Take it. This is yours. We're not making any excuses anymore. There's no excuses to be made no more. I want to look at doing a drive in my district, and I know when I mentioned it, we're going to be looking at an all-island drive, how we put Caymanians back to work, and those Caymanians that are feeling that need to work. Oh, see, I have people come to my office all the time looking for work. it is by far hard that I cannot get some of these Caymanians job. So I tell them, look, we can't make excuses no more. You are going to have to take our Caymanians and put them back in the workplace.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's no more excuses.
Yeah.
Because I can't go back. I hate to go back to my people and tell them that I can't find them a job. And I'm not that person. I am a solution-driven person. And I know the people, my colleagues around the table are solution-driven. And that's what we're all here about, right? And as we said, there's no egos. There's nobody that's better than this one. We all get together when we're in the room and we deliver for the people. And sometimes there are late nights that we go through. And sometimes I think there may be a little bit too late nights, especially when you got to drive all the way back to the north side. But again, we're there to deliver for what the solutions need to be for our people.
Okay.
OC,
Mr.
thank
Anglin,
you.
I think.
Mr. Anglin,
Yeah.
thank you for having me with you. Minister
for
Rankine,
us being together.
I leave you in good hands with OC and Mr.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Anglin.
Like all state.
And
You're in good hands.
Exactly. You're taking my stuff and you're in all state. You're in good hands. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Okay. And so I too have to depart because I have a 10 a.m. I am going to be at the John Gray Hall because CXC are in town. I met with the registrar yesterday and had a very deep and long discussion with him about the direction that CXC is heading. And the reason he's actually in Cayman is this is going to be Cayman's first time to be the host country for the announcement. So results come out today, and they go to the varying countries that participate and sit CXC exams. And so, as you know, the government schools use CXC quite extensively. So does the Seventh-day Adventist School Academy.
Okay.
And so that's going to be exciting. So I'll get up there and I'm going to be delivering a keynote speech, and then results are going to be announced. And so I know young people are anxious because these results in large measure dictate, certainly for the next 3 to 4 years, how their life shapes up. Are they going on to tertiary? Are they going to be going on to Tech Voc? What is it that their life is going to look like? But OC, thanks for having me. And I want to leave with this. We have an ever-changing world. And for too long, we've operated on one very, very simple but factual notion. Caymanians have traditionally found it very difficult to work together and help one another. That is a fact. That's not a criticism. That any Caymanian that will say and try to reject that, we're not going to solve it by rejecting what one of our weaknesses have been. And one of the strengths of people who come here is that they actually work together, while Caymanians don't.
Yep.
What this government has checked the egos at the door, and we work together. It's Caymanians working together to ensure that this country and the benefits that flow from this country can be flowing to Caymanians who want to take up their rightful place in our community. Too many Caymanians have been marginalized and are at the sidelines. In a country that is as prosperous as we are, do you know how many non-Caymanians tell me on a daily basis that they're shocked at the level of poverty that exists in a country that relatively has so much relative and comparative wealth? So this government isn't about taking anything from anyone. It is about empowering Caymanians. Caymanians are a group of people who want a hand up, not a hand out. We want to work closely with the minister responsible for DFA so that Caymanians are getting back to work. Yes, there'll be those who are permanently and long-term disabled, those who are elderly. That is a very different category. But Caymanians who are willing and able to work need to have that opportunity so that we can build back the middle class of Caymanians that has been decimated, absolutely decimated. And so this government, through working together, is not only lifting those proverbial clouds and providing a ray of sunshine and hope, but we want Caymanians, we want all of our people now to follow our cue. Our Q is about working hard together, being diligent. We're not going to stray from the task. We're still in the relatively early honeymoon period. We know some storms are going to come. We know that there's going to be policy positions that we're going to take that are not necessarily going to be the most popular. That is when you're going to see us stick together even tighter. And we want our people to follow that cue, to understand that collectively we have strength, and that is how we're going to build back a Cayman and a Caymanian people that is one that is resilient, proud, and able to deliver to our children the types of examples that we need. We need confident, secure children entering our public school system so that they are ready to learn and then transition through the system, and irrespective of what their weaknesses are, address those weaknesses for those who are less able or have additional or special education needs, and get them along with their families to the finish line and be able to have that wraparound service. And so it's going to be interesting when myself and the Minister of Education present to caucus our view of what the modern education system should look like, and how we're going to work with colleagues who have responsibility for varying ministries, but in service to our children and our families, to produce that strong Cayman Islands that our people deserve, so that our people are ready and able to take up their rightful place in our society, participate positively in our economy, and not be marginalized any further. So I'm proud to be a member of the NCFC, and I look forward to seeing our people out this evening at 4 to 7 p.m.
4 to 7 p.m., yes.
On Cardinal Avenue. I'm encouraging all Caymanians to come out. All the members of the government who are here on island will be there. We are, of course, tendering apologies for our Premier, who's traveling on much needed break. And we have a couple of other colleagues who will not be able to attend, who are due to travel. But the rest of us will be there, and we're there to engage with our people and celebrate this important 100-day milestone, so we can talk about all the great things that we're not doing for ourselves. This isn't about Minister Rankine or the ministers that's here. This is about Caymanians. Yep. And so I have to take my leave.
Thank you.
But I thank you for having me, and I know I'm leaving you in wonderfully safe and secure hands. And don't forget, you mentioned one of his ministries. He also has a critically important ministry of innovation and social development.
Yes.
Social development.
Indeed.
So thank you.
Okay. Minister Rankine, over to you, sir.
O.C., thank you so much. Just want to thank my colleagues for sharing all the good news. And obviously there's not just good news, but also we know that it is not over yet. This is the first 100 days, and we still have many more 100 days to go. And we are certainly looking forward to engaging and working with our people to make sure that what we do is to their benefit and to uplift them, as my colleagues has alluded to.
Okay. You still have the mic.
Yes,
so,
sir. Well, OC, just quickly, just briefly, I was away, went to support the Cayman team and a couple of other meetings in the Pan Am Junior Games that was held in Paraguay.
Okay.
The team, especially the swimming team, because that was the one I got to see, while we didn't medal in the swimming competition, the swimmers did very, very well. I saw their heart that they put into every event that they swam in. I saw what they did in terms of their personal best times. I also want to thank the people who has gone there, as the chef de mission, Miss Shakina Bush, and the other staff that has went, the Dr. Brown and the other lady, cannot remember her name right now, but fantastic group of support that they have there. OC, what I saw that really made a good impact on me, although it was very cold, the opening ceremony was a display of their culture and their heritage. It was a fantastic display of one's culture and heritage, and I think that is the kind of presentation that we as a country should ensure that we do at all times. When people come to our country, they should know who we are. at all times know who we are as a Caymanian and as Caymanians, and by watching us, how we interact with people, our friendliness, the Cayman kind we've spoken about on many, many other occasions. But we must ensure that people know who we are in this country.
And many of them come looking for that. They want to see Caymanians. They want to see what Cayman is all about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've had discussions with a couple of other persons that were there who also had responsibility for culture and heritage. And they were also very impressed with the opening ceremony and in terms of what the Paraguayan people put on for the opening games. I sent back a number of video clips and pictures to my teams. And when I get an opportunity, I will certainly be discussing that with them in terms of what I saw there. While we don't necessarily want to duplicate, we want to see exactly what we are doing and how we can improve our product to the people that visit us. But not only that, ensure that our people come behind us is also aware of our culture and our heritage and how we should be able to pass that down to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. Because certainly I will put my hands up and say I'm one of the persons who probably has some blame in all of this. While my grandparent, my father's parents taught me, my father taught me, people at that generation taught me a lot of things. I didn't do a very good job of passing that on, OC. So we're playing catch up now.
Yeah.
And we must do a job, working even with the Minister of Education, in terms of how we teach our children all of this stuff. My father is going to be 91 in October.
Wow.
He's still going strong. And he still today go out and teach the kids a bit of our heritage, our culture. He still teaches them the thatch making, the rope making, the hammock making, the net making. Up to this week, he was at a camp doing that. And if he can do it, we can all do it and take the initiative to ensure that we pass that down to our people.
So true. Yes.
Yeah. But OC, and as I want to continue to talk about the ministries and our 100 days highlights. We've done, especially on the Ministry of Social Development and Innovation, I'll just kind of touch there. We've started the legislative reform of a number of different acts, primarily the Disabilities Act. Cabinet has already approved the draft and instructions for those, and whatever other amending legislation we need to do. And we also working to enhance the national cybersecurity capacity. We advance in our digital infrastructure through a different range of projects and how we can improve security. The topical subject now that I've seen so many clips on is AI. And while it has significant benefits, there's also significant concerns as well too. I heard a news clip from the Prime Minister of Barbados expressing her concerns of what people who has nefarious meaning is able to do with AI. And that's certainly that we as a government must look at as well, because we have to do what we can to protect our people.
Yes.
You can see some of the, especially on Facebook, some of the AI material that's going around with the former Premier, Wayne Panton, supposedly offering some kind of benefits, financial benefits to people on Facebook, all AI driven. And so we must be able to protect our people, and that may include us bringing legislation to do that as best as we can. We work in cross ministries, and we're expanding engagement. We also have the Gender Affairs Unit. We have the Council of Older Persons Unit, and we're enforcing our responsibilities through also promoting equity and access and well-being for all demographics within our society. We also strengthen our partnerships with other ministries, as I alluded to, and we must also, and we're working on modernizing our e-government capabilities through the gov.ky30 project. We also increasing compliance and a centralized policy governance with successful close of the Meta Compliance project, and that was very significant for the Computer Services Department, OC. But there's just so much that we've done. While they may seem minor, it all connects to something else. And while I'm minuscule, it still connects to something else. So while I may be talking about culture and heritage on this side, We know that that also filters into our social development side. We know that it filters into our education side. It also filters into the Ministry of Planning side. So there's all of these interconnections of every single thing that we do in each ministry. And that is why it is so important that we work collaboratively and we work closely with each other. Are we going to agree at all times? I would say if I was a betting man, probably no. But once we do so respectfully and then we agree that certain things can work, then I think that is the way how we've also approached this. My colleague said it a couple of times since I arrived. We've checked our egos at the door because we're not going to make progress if we bring our egos into a room with other people. So we are there, OC. We are working hard together. I've seen significant progress of what we would have been able to achieve over this first 100 days. And I too would like to encourage the public to come out and celebrate with us this first 100 days milestone. This evening, stand at 4 o'clock in Cardinal Avenue area. We want to engage with the people. We want to engage. We want to hear back from them. In essence, we want to find out from them how they are grading us. The minister spoke about announcing the grades today at CXC for the whole Caribbean. Well, this is an opportunity for the public to come out and grade us and give us our results for the first 100 days as well to OC.
Yep, that is so. And I must say that during the course of the show, we received so many WhatsApp messages as well. And I'm making arrangements with the comms people to get a lot of this, to forward it to all of you, all of the ministers, so they can see some of the questions, because we didn't get an opportunity to ask all of the questions. I think we had something like about 5 callers on hold, but we couldn't take any more calls at the time. So we want to share the feedback also that we're receiving on here with you. And it isn't just for the show itself, but to give you a take on what is happening, and some questions that are being asked that you may be able to provide answers to as well.
Absolutely.
But let's again remind the public in terms of coming out this evening, what they can expect, as well.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be there. The Premier is obviously off island, and apologies will be obviously be tendered for him. He's taking a much needed break. And a couple of other ministers as well too. But we're going to be there. We're going to be sharing what we've accomplished. We're going to be listening to people, hearing their feedback, but also a good time for us to engage with the public on a much wider scale. For me, being elected by the good people of East End, it gives me a broader view now, because my responsibility is not only now East End as a minister. My first responsibility was to East End as a member of Parliament, but I also have the responsibility for the whole country for youth, sports, culture and heritage, and also for the Ministry of Social Development and Innovation. And I get now to engage in a more wider public part in terms of hearing what their concerns are. Also, I'm sure they're going to give us a lot of good feedback as well too.
Definitely. Well, I want to thank you, for being here. I want to thank all of those who participated. We apologize about not being able to keep the phone lines open for any period of for a longer period of time. I should say, your WhatsApp messages that you have sent, we will share them with the comms, the people, so that they can then circulate those questions, comments to the various ministries as well. And don't forget that we will have ministers on again this afternoon. I welcome you to join me on Talk Today at 12:15, where more of the conversations will take place in terms of the first 100 days of the government in office. And don't forget, they will continue to promote the event taking place on Cardinal Avenue this evening from 4 o'clock as well. Folks, again, remember to join me at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these 3 islands. But Minister Rankine wants to say something before we go.
Also, thank you so much. I also want to, again, I'm leading the delegation to Barbados for the Carifesta. That is a very important cultural and heritage festival for us in the Caribbean. Cayman has participated in it from the time I was working at Harquail. We've always went and made a good presentation, but we've not only presented and showed people who we are, we've also learned about other people's culture. So I'm leading a delegation there next week, Thursday, on the 21st to Barbados. And we are doing a pre-show at the Harquail Theatre tomorrow evening. I think it starts at 7 o'clock to show the Caymanian public, give them the 6 o'clock, starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So we're giving the Caymanian public an opportunity to see what we are going to be taking to Barbados to present to the people from across the whole Caribbean. And I know that the people have been rehearsing. They've been working hard. They were rehearsing up to last night, and I'm looking forward to seeing that presentation just as much as anyone else, but also certainly giving an opportunity to the people going on the delegation to represent us in Barbados for this cultural festival.
Okay, great. And Miss Fantasia was on, had her on Talk Today.
Yes.
A few days ago as well. I think it was Tuesday, yeah. Talking about that as well. Minister, again, thank you very much. Folks, don't forget, join me at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
It's a sizzling summer with JN Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with JN Money. Visit www.jnmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with JN Money.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Hey man, it's time to move. Lace up those sneakers and join the Alzheimer's and Dementia Association of the Cayman Islands on Sunday, September 7th at Cayman Bay for the World Walks Against Dementia 2025 5K Run Walk. Be part of something big, a global movement spanning 61 countries, and the walk and run together to raise awareness and support for people living with dementia, their families, and caregivers. One day, one cause, one powerful step at a time. Register now at Race Caribbean or download the form at adacayman.ky. Adults are $25 and children 17 and under or $10. Let's walk for those who can't. Let's walk for change. Let's walk against dementia. ADACI. Together, we're making a difference.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from a